What's going on, guys? Crazyncman here, back on the airsoft gun review train. And obviously by the title, we're going to take a look at the Elite Force H&K MP5A4, which is OEM manufactured by VFC. So I'm very excited, always excited to take a look at the stuff VFC puts out. This is the Elite version. You know, Elite Force, they have two different kinds. They have the Competition series, which is the cheapo guns, and the Elite series, which is the better, more high-end guns, which are mostly manufactured by VFC. And in my opinion, the Elite series should be 100% manufactured by VFC, because Aries and S&T, to me, they don't cut it as an Elite manufacturer. They're just another Chinese company that makes kind of half-ass guns. So I think all the Elite series from Elite Force should be made by VFC. But anyways, let's take a look at the chrono and the shooting test, and then we'll get into the heart of this review of the H&K MP5A4. Alright, that shooting test went pretty good, but I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know if the other camera picked this up, so we'll make this little clip. I did have some issues with the magazine feeding and just some other issues while I was doing the shooting test, but check this out. Here we are at the 100-foot mark. Coming up 75 feet. Again, professional reviews with marked out distance. 50 feet, and then there's the 25. There's the 25 foot. Now that 25 foot was not knocked over by the wind. It is a little windy out here, but it's actually knocked over by a BB that came out of the gun at about half speed and only made it 75 feet and hit the 25 foot marker. So a little disappointed there, you know. VFC, Elite Force, making some of the best guns on the market, but I had some problems with this MP5, as you can see in the shooting test, feeding. The magazines feed like crap. Some of these blooping out, not going quite as far as they should. I was running 11.1 volt LiPo. I had a lot more than that didn't make it the full distance. So a little discouraged by that, but still pretty cool gun. So let's get on to the review. Now, as you can see in that shooting test, the accuracy of the gun was excellent. That 12 by 18 target, the dartboard size is probably maybe 10, 11 inches in diameter. So the accuracy from 100 feet for a gun this small was absolutely stellar. But as you can see, I had a bunch of problems. I knocked over the 25-foot marker. The BB didn't come out right. I missed the target completely. There were so many misfeeds with the magazine. It just wasn't what I expected out of a VFC product. And I was, to say the least, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed with this gun out of the box. And it showed there in the shooting test. Also in the chrono test, 383, 385 for what's going to be a CQB gun is kind of ridiculous, because most fields still have a velocity limit, an indoor field of 350 FPS. Some are higher, but 385 FPS for what's a CQB gun, ridiculous, because if you live in the area where your field limit is 350, then you got to have your brand new $300 gun worked on. And that is absolutely absurd. I don't know why, especially with a company like Elite Force that's based in the United States and they know the velocity limits of these fields, why they'd say, go ahead and do 385, 390 FPS. Wrong, bad decision. There's only like one field that has one indoor field that has a 400 FPS limit. Most of them are 350 or under. So big faux pas there on Elite Force's part manufacturing this gun. And again, I was just highly disappointed. But let's get on to the meat of it, see what this thing looks like, and hear the rest of my professional opinion on this product. All right, so there we got the Elite Force MP5A4 out of the box, and as you can see, what we expect from VFC is flawless externals, and that's exactly what you get. This thing is beautiful. It's got H&K trades on it, serial number on it, and also, as you can see here, it's got a little extra selector position because it has 3-round bursts. But exterior, first thoughts, fantastic. What you're going to get with this gun, 200 round high cap magazine, and if you're new to airsoft, high cap means high capacity. It's got the little wheel. You put the BBs up in here in the top, you open this little hatch, put your BBs in, and then you got to wind that wheel to wind the spring, get the BBs to feed. You get a manual which covers both the MP5A4 and the A5. The Umarex USA / Elite Force manuals are very well written. You get the what's in your mag propaganda. You get the typical yellow card, which we've gone over this a bunch, says do not return this product to the store. If you have a problem during your 1-year warranty on this gun, you send it back to the Umarex USA headquarters and you get a registration card. Now, real quick on this. After, I don't even know how long Elite Force has been selling guns now, a year, 2 years. We're finding out that this factory warranty is becoming more of a headache than anything else. I have many people tell me that they've sent their gun in for factory service and it's taken months and months and months, or it's getting fixed but it's coming back not fixed correctly. So yes, the 1-year warranty is great. Yes, the warranty at the factory rather than at your retailer is great, but it's proven to be not very good, not worth it. I've talked to a lot of people about this, and they said it's just a headache, the work is shoddy, and it takes forever if it ever gets fixed at all. So take that with a grain of salt. All right, now the MP5A4 exterior, it's like any other airsoft gun here. You pull back your charging handle, you reveal the hop-up in there. It's got a slider-style hop-up. Adjustment is exact, precise. Very nice. Even using a heavyweight in my shooting test, I was using 2.8, so I had the hop up adjusted pretty good. It's really nice, typical of VFC. We expect the most quality out of VFC. But the first thing you're going to notice, let me get this random BB out of here before it bugs the crap out of me. First thing I noticed when I went to put the magazine in is it won't go in. The magwell is, damn, there's another one. The magwell on this is extremely tight. Get out of there. And also, when I first put it in, and this is not a problem with VFC, this is a problem with all MP5s, the pin that holds the magazine guts was sticking way out on one side. I didn't look at it. I grabbed the magazine, I cut open the bag, I went to jam it in the mag well. It wouldn't go in, but I had this big gouge up the inside of the mag well because the pin wasn't in there properly. It was sticking out. That's my first impression when I take this out of the box. I was like, oh man, this thing looks beautiful. And then I was like, damn, the mag don't fit. And then I was like, damn, I put a big gouge in the mag well because of the stupid pin. And it's too tight. It's way too tight. I'd rather have it a little tight than a little loose, but as you can see, I had to file this. I had to file the pin down because it didn't quite fit right. The plastic was hanging out over the edge, so that made it even tighter. I had to sand inside the mag well where it gouged it up because of the pin. And, you know, I've seen other videos from professional podcasters say, oh, it's going to wear in. It's going to wear in after a while. That's bullshit. For $300, it should fit. It should fit right out of the box, and this does not. It is. You can see there now the frickin' the release lever's stuck. It's another shoddy thing here. This thing, as you can see, when you push the mag release, it rides over this little hump and it kind of pulls it down a little bit. I've had it stick. If you put the magazine in and give it that little bang to make sure it's all the way up, it'll unwind. Just very disappointed with this gun right out of the box, especially for the price. Looks good, function sucks. Now, let's go over the rest of it real quick. It's got 14mm counterclockwise threads on the end of this plastic barrel tip. I don't even know what to call it, lost for words. This is the 3-lug style of most MP5s. What's nice about this is you can get the flash hider to put on this, cover that orange tip real quick. I kind of like that. You got your sling point up front. You got one back here in the back. Of course, your sights here. You got the barrel style sight where you can spin it, get different apertures. Again, this thing is so tight that it hardly moves. Again, another faux pas on this gun. Selector switch is typical of an MP5. It doesn't really, it clicks, but when you're, you know, not paying attention to it, getting into some action, it's very easy to miss the settings, except for safe and full auto where it goes and stops. So, but that's typical of MP5s. They always have clunky selector switches. The 3-round burst in this is mechanical, which is kind of cool rather than electronic, because you can squeeze one shot and let off and it'll fire one shot, or you can just hold the trigger back and it'll go ahead and fire a 3-round burst. 3-round burst on a 9.6 volt is very precise. Using 11.1 volt, I always get 4 shots out of the 3-round burst. No big deal. I can live with that. And then the battery, you pull the stock off. You've got your small Tamiya connector right there. It is not fused, which is kind of cool. Again, right here, you have a little exposure of the connection where the shrink wrap wasn't all the way touching each other. And that, again, another little faux pas. Because you don't know, what are you going to get your gun and things going to be shorting out, not working. So I didn't like that. The battery compartment, I had an 11.1 volt LiPo in there, and there's plenty of room. With the exception of the 11.1 volt LiPo is a little fat, so it wouldn't go all the way back in there. So I wound up having to jam all this wire in the top, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. But I like the way that goes together on this gun. And that's pretty much it for the overview of the exterior and the functions of the gun. It is lefty friendly. So you got ambidextrous selector switch on both sides, mag release here, so it's a very lefty friendly gun, other than if you have to adjust the hop up, you have to reach over to pull the charging handle back. But exterior, great looking gun. Function, not so good. Now my final conclusion on this gun, originally G&G made the MP5 series for Elite Force. They were the G&G Top Tech, which I found were always a fantastic fantastic. Probably the best MP5 on the market. I don't know why Elite Force and G&G parted ways. I assume it was some political BS over licensing and what they're making. But when they told me that they were going to go with VFC, I was excited because I think VFC is one of the best companies, like I said. And this is just a huge disappointment. I mean, to have a magazine that doesn't fit. I tried the Cyma MP5 mags. They don't fit at all. They won't even go in the gun. So it's a big disappointment. And as you can see, I had trouble in the shooting test. I have BBs rolling out of the barrel. Misfire. The magazine feeds like crap. So I'm very disappointed, especially for a $300 gun, and especially for VFC. Would that deter me from buying one? Not at all, because you know you can get the magazine issues straightened out, little sanding, little filing, and the overall performance of the gun is pretty stellar. The accuracy, the range, you know, so that wouldn't totally deter me, but I am very, very disappointed because at this price point and from a company like VFC, this thing should have been flawless out of the box. And I mean flawless. If you want to call something elite, then you better put out something that's perfect. And this was not. This was very disappointing. So, like I said, I wouldn't let it deter me from buying it. You know, especially if you're in the market for a nice MP5. But I'd prefer the Top Tech MP5 series over this by far. Sad that G&G and Elite Force parted ways and the Top Tech MP5 is not in their lineup anymore. But still, great gun. You know, definitely a nice looking unit. So check them out. They're available at your local retailer. And please find the retailer closest to you. If you have to shop online, find a small retailer that is closest to you. Support them. You know, we don't need that big monopoly out in California anymore. And some manufacturers have written me and said, yes, you are right. The Big Four monopoly, the price wars is ridiculous. So please support your local airsoft store and check it out. Elite Force. Most dealers around the country carry them. Appreciate you guys watching. Look for more reviews coming up very soon. Sorry this was so damn long, but you know how I am. So comment, rate, subscribe. Don't forget check the subscribe box to make sure you're receiving emails every time I upload a new video.